I just did that thing where, you know, facial recognition and it says not recognized or whatever, because my phone's in landscape. And every single time, even though I know it's stupid, I try and put my own face into landscape to see if it'll work. So every time I go like this, and it never works. And of course it wouldn't work. Why would it? But I do it every time. So this is a slower really thought from me, but it's a thought that I can't let go of today. It seems to be kind of clinging to me like a little koala bear. So that's what this is about. And this is really one regarding online dating, and more just for ladies probably, but actually I think, having seen what I saw last night, for men too. So I was out at a bar last night to get food, because any events that I do, I never eat, because I'm always talking to people or moving tables or going around the room, or conversations more interesting to me than food anyway. But I do need to eat at some point or I fall off my perch and I get told off by my husband. So I was out at the bar getting food, and around the bar, all of life was going on. And what struck me and what's left me most is the world of online dating and the simple horrors that a lot of people are going through every day just to find somebody to kind of share their life with. And it's sort of been upsetting, because the more I've thought about it overnight and then this morning, the more my heart's broken for various people at the bar I was at, all in like a 2-hour time window, maybe less. Across from me was a guy who was on a blind date, and the girl had showed up. She was a cute little girl, and the guy wasn't interested at all. I know this because another guy told me he'd been playing pool with the guy, and he said he was waiting for a blind date, and she showed up and he was like, no, that's not for me. And I watched, and instead of him saying, oh, I don't think we'd be a match, or politely maybe having a drink with her and then saying, oh, well, it was nice to meet you, he completely ignored her and started chatting to another dude, another bro at the bar. And I watched him have a really nice conversation with the other guy at the bar, and they were having a nice time. But the little girl was just sat there. And then I guess she got to the point where she didn't know what to do. And so she got up and left and walked out, completely ignored. And I wanted to run after her and grab her and go, oh, well, I'm really sorry about that. But, you know, I guess I just know that she would have left feeling sad. Then next to me, one chair over, was this super, super, super pretty lady. And she was in a little cute black dress, and she had these cute shoes on with this little tie up around the ankles, and her hair was all nice and her makeup was all nice. Like, you could see she'd really put time and effort, but to look that lovely. And she was still sitting there an hour later. And obviously I'm just sat at the bar on my own, but that's kind of how I roll, because I'm on the road, and, you know, what do people say? I look like I've been ridden hard and put to bed wet. That's aspirational at my age, I tell you. I wish for that day. But so, yes, and I'm kind of, you know, odd. But this lady, and she's still there. So eventually I said, look, I've got to ask you, why are you alone at a bar when you look like you do? And it turned out her online date was supposed to have arrived at 8 o'clock. And it's now 9:30. And she's still sat there. So a part of me is like, well, that's weird, because like, if I was there, it'd be like, if I was waiting for someone and they weren't there by 8:10, I'd be like, see ya. But she stuck it out and had a drink. And she said, and I said to her, well, you know, good for you for just getting a drink and sticking it out, because balls to it. And she was like, yes, exactly, bugger it. That she ordered herself pizza and fries, and, you know, we were chatting. But really, I know how horrible that must be, to spend all that time getting, you know, that's a good hour probably of getting ready and then getting there and having the courage to walk into a bar on your own when you're like her, like little and pretty, and then to sit there and then someone not show up and you're still sat there, and you probably in your head, there's probably 1,000 things going on, like, well, why didn't he show up? Well, I can't leave now because I'll look stupid. I wonder what people think around me. Do people think, why is no one talking? There's probably, and then you're supposed to just leave and walk out and go home. and get all undressed from all your fanciness. That's got to be tears every single time, surely. Just a feeling like you've been kicked in the gut for trying to make an effort to just meet someone, right? And then finally the guy next to me was, a lady came over to speak to him, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I was busying myself, like trying to, I mean, it's quite obvious I'm not with anyone anyway, because I'm me and I'm obnoxious, but like I was definitely trying to show that I was nothing to do with anyone. And they were having a chat, but it turned out she was trying to see if she could line him up with two of the other ladies who were sat on the other side of the room. And, you know, no disrespect to those ladies, but they were more like something you would need to harpoon than go on a date with. So there was just this all around me with people who wanted company, wanted to be with somebody, and who all will have gone out the door feeling less about themselves because they tried to make the effort to meet someone. And I have to say, I just find online dating to be the cruelest thing of all. And I'm not certain it's helping anyone in any way. Even the people who meet someone for a night and have a lovely time and then whatever happens. And my view is, I'm going to stop that phone, 'cause that's annoying. Hold on. My view is that online dating is actually an act of self-harm. And I think it's pushing everybody to the point where they just give up. And they give up on men or women, give up on trying to meet someone, and just walk the world with their heads down, utterly self-contained. Because if the alternative to online dating is just being on your own and self-contained and happy with your cat, that's preferable. But I guess the thing that's really troubling me is that isn't the choice, right? That's the false choice that you're being forced to think of. The choice isn't online dating or being alone. It didn't need to throw in the cat reference, did I? It was unhelpful. The choice is online dating or not online dating. And then the choice is, the question is not how do I meet someone, how do I feel better about me, right? And sometimes I think we imagine we'll feel better about ourselves if we have someone, and of course we do. I feel better when lovely Mark looks at me and I look like, honestly, I look like the sort of thing that a dog in the street, you know when cats are forced to smell something or taste something they don't like and they do that? That's what I look like a lot in the mornings, and yet my husband will say, you look nice. He's got to be lying. Okay, so I understand we do need someone, and it's lovely to have someone who makes you feel better even when you look like shit. But actually, what we need is to try and find a way to feel better about ourselves, isn't it? And then hope that someone else is attracted to that. And that has got to be achieved, I think, by stepping away from some crass system where people are looking for something specific and send their requirements in advance and pictures of themselves in their best light, as opposed to showing themselves warts and all. And I also think online dating is more self-harm to women, but guys are going to correct me and say, no, this is bad for us too, because it causes you to feel like you're responsible for that person who didn't show up, or the person that acted like an asshole, or the guy over from you who ignored you all night because he didn't think he liked you and left you to walk out alone. It makes you think you're to blame for that. You're not good enough. You're too fat, too thin, too this, too tall, too small, and none of that's true either. It's just that online dating is mean and cruel and ineffective and doesn't work. I don't have solutions to all of this, obviously. And given I've been married twice, I'm not a dating guru. But what I do see is that, and I am directing this at ladies because of that lady that I sat next to last night, who was stood up and had to go home and take all of that lovely things off and probably got upset, I imagine, is that you, I think, should stop online dating. I don't think it's good enough for you. I think most people are too good for online dating. I think it works if you want to just do the Tinder thing where you open the door naked and that's your arrangement and that's great for you guys. But otherwise, you're too good to be online dating. And I think you deserve much better. And I also believe that it encourages the very worst elements of our life. Because women typically go past maybe a reflection of themselves. It's always the reflected image. So a reflection in a shop window, a reflection in a photograph, which is why these phones are so bad for people. A reflected image of yourself impacts you because it isn't a true version of yourself. It's a version of yourself that goes through the lens of your own criticism of yourself. So when you look at that picture of yourself, all you see is the bad stuff. And I know you do this. Oh God, look at my, like here, I have this, right? Chins. So, oh, look at my double chins, or, my droopy eyes. Oh, look at droopy eyes. I'm trying to show the things that I would pick on. Because you're seeing the image of yourself through your own critical lens, where you are immediately focused on the things you feel self-conscious of. And that's not how other people see you at all. Women also see themselves through the lens of online comments left on Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, or where someone makes a comment, it's not even sent in that way, but you read a certain tone into it and feel that that person's being unkind to you, and so you beat yourself up still. It's like women are increasingly, because of all of this online, seeing yourself through a reflection of yourself that's through your own filter, which damages you, you're creating a stick to beat yourself up with. And that's got to stop. You have to get to a place, right, where you know you're a good person and you're pretty fantastic. And other people would be lucky to be with you. And I know people can tell you this and you'd be like, yeah, that's all very well, Katie, but I still go home alone. Yes, but in that going home alone or being alone, if you can start to get to a point where you realise you are really great, you look really great, even if you look like shit in terms of detail, if you feel great, if you have a sort of energy about you that says, I'm all right, I am, and I deserve better than that. I think that's what we actually have to aim for. And so to the lady in the bar last night and the lady over in the corner, please know that you're fantastic and you are better than all of that. And don't fashion a stick to beat yourself up with. Know that you're working on being the very best version of you that you can be, and that's okay. And if anybody doesn't come up to those standards, it's not because you're too fat, too thin, too big, too small, too blah, 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 the dress wasn't right, the whatever. It's on them. It's on them. They weren't good enough to meet the standard that you've set. Okay, I think I needed to offload that, and I'm putting it out into the world. I'm not at all we know that I don't try and push my book because frankly, I just needed to write it. It wasn't about selling it. But this stuff is in here on, I did a chapter, help. So help is all different chapters of help. I don't know if I want to go to university. Help, I want to kill myself. Help, I'm dying. That's pretty blunt, that chapter. Help, I'm single. It's in here, more or less that stuff that we're just talking about. How I don't want you to beat yourself up. It's chapter, what is it? Hold on, help, I'm single. Chapter 6. In your own heart, know who you are. I know that I'm kind and I want the very best for a stranger in the street. And if they fell or were hurt, I would run and try and save them. And that's honestly enough for me to know that I'm good, no matter how crappy my hair looks or how weird the varicose vein on my shin looks. Let me show you. It is really weird. Hold on. In fact, I've got to try not to flash my whole vagina at you. Oh, damn, I don't think I can. I'm going to try. I want to try and show you my varicose vein, show you how it, look there. Can you see? There. There. It's actually massive. It truly, honestly, it's disgusting. People say to me, you can get those removed. I'm like, yes, I could, but can't really be asked. So it doesn't matter how weird your hair looks or how weird your varicose vein is. Mine's weird. But you are fantastic. Forget finding a husband. Find happy instead. Go, girlies, go.